So I wanted to put a bit of focus on the T69 and talk about it before we show some gameplay this time, because it's a pretty underrated tank. So we'll go to the tank in the tech tree and pick it. It follows on from the T71 alternative light tank auto loader to the M41 Bulldog. And it comes with two armament packages, a 76mm package and a 90mm package. Now, the 76mm comes with an auto loader. It also has a stock engine, so you upgrade the engine, you get more mobility, the ability to get out of there while you're reloading your shells. So armor penetration on the standard rounds in 150 damage for each of the 4 shells in the clip is pretty awful, but you do get quicker reloads on the drum. So you get the ability to fire almost 12 rounds a minute. So you move on, you get that engine upgrade right there, but you keep the 76mm gun. And that takes you on to the T54E1, but you do need to upgrade it fully before you get there. Now, this gun, armor penetration values on the standard rounds goes down. So exclusively, and as per quite a lot of the experts on YouTube, and I fire all heat. Now the heat pen is good, it works. What I will talk about is the aiming time and the dispersion between shells. It's pretty awful. That 2.9 second aim time is improved with events and is improved with the gun laying drive, but the minute you fire one shell of the 4, it bounces to a big reticle again, and it doesn't re-aim completely within the next time of the reload of the shell. So a lot of times even though it'll fire fast, you need to be really close to the tank for it to hit with all 4 if you don't fully aim. And accuracy is okay, 0.38, but it's not brilliant. So gun depression is -9, gun elevation is +14. Now the hull armor, which we'll talk about in a second, isn't that bad, and the turret armor isn't that bad. Those values that you see there, they might look small, but actually the sloping on the actual auto loading turret makes it work quite nicely, so it can bounce a lot of shells. I've bounced Carnarvon's T29s actually off the back of the turret when I'm trying to turn around and run away. So let's have a quick look at the modules. So the engine's in the back, you've got a 20% chance of fire, so you should really keep a fire extinguisher on this tank. There's the turret and main armament, the tracks obviously, the turret ring, the radios in the back, and the ammunition storage is in the front and side, so definitely have some form of protecting those, and in the form of safe stowage or a wet ammo rack. Now the armour, it might look lightly armoured, but those slopes really work quite well. So the 91 to 120mm region on the upper plate, you can bounce tier 7 heavies, tier 8 mediums, firing standard ammunition at range with a good well angled hull. Now the turret, as you see, has quite thick armour around the gun mantlet, so you can bounce shells off of that if you stay hull down, and with -9 gun depression you can get this thing hull down quite nicely over ridges. It's not an embarrassment. See, it's underrated. It fires at the same rate as a Pershing, except for the fact it will do burst damage to a tank. So if a tank is critical, you can stick 2 into him, kill him, stick 2 into another tank that's near him, and get out of town, which you'll see in the gameplay that I go through. So that really goes through where the armour is on the front. Then we'll look at the back of the turret. Like I said, it's not embarrassing on the back. I mean, the back of the hull is pretty bad. It's quite large and flat, so don't get hit there. Explosives are going straight through that. So the back of the turret on the cupola, it's flat, but it's quite thick and it's small. So if you're only showing that when you're running away, the chances of getting it hit are quite small. So we should go to some gameplay and have a look at that. So we start, it's Himmelsdorf. We made the choice to climb the hill. Corporal Darren's in the 5100, I'm in the T69. I'm just checking here who's coming with me, what's going on, because this is not a lonesome really, this is a support tank. It comes out, it uses the guys around, the art of surprise, stick 4 shells in and away you go, and hide again while the big dogs do their work. Now, at the top of the hill is a T54 being played by one of the best players in the Havoc clan. In fact, probably one of the highest rated players on the game. So somebody on my team decides that defending this position would be a great idea. I don't know where they get their ideas on tactics for World of Tanks, but I've never really wanted to fight going up a hill. It makes it nearly impossible. So by force we need to take that far ridge. Now as you see, we've let the T54 get here with the light tank. The surprise factor is the artillery is up here before all of us.
Releasing target.
So we missed with the first shell, but it was a bit of a punt whether it would go in or not. Now, the Motherland and the IS-3, in my opinion, should be supporting this T-54 far more than hanging around on that ridge, trying to use 3 degrees and 4 degrees of gun depression to do anything. So, I'm willing to take a hit from the Motherland, who I know, as the IS-3 had just fired, and we stick 3 into the side of the T-54. Which he must have been extremely annoyed about, to know that the Motherland and the IS-3 had still hung around below the rocks and hadn't pushed up to support. So we pulled back for a reload. Now even a Craft Panther has been allowed to get around the side of this T-54. They're top tier medium. They're key to winning the top of this hill. And these 2 guys still sat here and let it go off. I've got 2 shells left. Nice nose angled flat upper plate on the IS-3. Completely flat. We'll stick 2 250 heat pens straight through that. Thank you very much. Now we're going to reload. Meanwhile, Darren has come a cropper on the far side due to being shotgunned by the artillery and added to by the T-54 and the light tank. So the IS-3 thought he was being cute by going down this side, and here we see how good my armour is. I bounce off the side of my turret. Now, showcasing the heat pen and where an ammo rack is on an Uhu. It's always nice when top tier heavies don't push out of their cap. So, we've already penned that ammo rack, and there is his ammo rack again. It's in that front corner, right behind the flat front plate. In the corner plate is the ammo rack. So we stick 2 into that. He's gone. We reload and we head back. But we found a Centurion, and we know that the tortoise is being dealt with. I'd have liked to have added a little more damage to the Centurion myself, to be honest, but 1 shell will do. And the tortoise has been dealt with. And that's game. That silver loss there is the Coca-Cola, because I've got some crew skills that replace my crew when they're knocked out, but I'll take that game. It was pretty decent.